How do you know that someone truly loves you, truly cares about you, and truly stands for your highest self and your greatness versus somebody who's fake or attaching due to their own wounding and feelings of not being enough or whatever it is that keeps them stuck? How do you know the difference between that true love? Well, a friend and mentor of mine told me something that just absolutely embodied this. She says, if you had one wish for someone in your life to either love you more and spend more time with you and shower you with more attention versus fall in love with themselves and do more of what lights them up, even if they're flying away to do it, what would you choose? I'm a mom, and it's easy for me to love that my kids are here. But I have no illusions that one day my kids are going to grow up. And the thing is about that is that while it's painful in a lot of ways to realize that your kids are going to grow up someday, and your friends are going to move away and they're going to have lives of their own, and your family is going to do their thing, and maybe you have a partner who needs to fly and do their own thing, and maybe they can't spend as much time with you as you'd like at certain points, or they have to work on themselves. If you truly love someone, it's just like you set them free. And if they come back to you, they're yours. And if not, they're not. And, you know, what I noticed is that for a long time, I thought it was the other thing. That if you love someone, you just have to keep giving and giving and giving that love. And if they don't spend time with you, they don't love you. And that got me into a lot of trouble because there's something called love bombing. And there were certain people, friends, ex-partners, and family who would love bomb, and they'd give and give and give, and they'd shower with attention. But only so much as I was doing what they wanted. The second I started to be my full authentic self and live my life for myself and choose things that they might not choose or go down a path that they didn't agree with, that love was suddenly taken away. I was suddenly made bad and wrong and shamed and blamed and accused of not loving them. And you know what? The thing is that love is there. So I had a wonderful day. My mom was in town and I got to see her. And I told her this. I said, it's like she'd said to me at one point, because this was a surprise visit. She'd been down with friends. It had been a spur of the moment thing. And I had called her just thinking, you know, I need to call my mom. I don't know why, but I just feel like I need to call my mom. And I found out that she was in town. And it was very, very quick. And then she was leaving, like, as soon as she came to see me and my daughter today, then she had to go because they needed to get back home. She's 4 hours away. And I was like, you know what? Like, she had said to me, thank you for not getting mad that I didn't call you ahead of time and tell you I was coming down. Thank you for just being happy that I'm here. And I'm like, you know what, Mom? I have a mentor who told me that the ones who really love you just want you to live your best life. And I know you love me. And I'm happy that you're happy. And I want you to be able to just know that I love you. And I'm really happy that we got to connect, as brief as it was. And that love is always there. And it was incredible because she just had this beautiful smile on her face. She's like, yes, I've always loved you, and I always will. And it just made me think about with my daughter how I'm going to let her do her thing. And if she doesn't call home, if she's out living her best life, as long as I know she's okay, as long as I know that she's being taken care of and she's loved, then she can go and fly as far as she wants. And I know she'll always fly home when she wants to. But I'm not going to make her wrong. I'm not going to guilt her. And I don't want to guilt my mom. I used to think my mom doesn't love me because she doesn't pay enough attention to me, but my mom was just living her best life. And she was just working through her own things. And I'm a mom now, and I get it. I get how the world can tell you that you're not enough, or the world can tell you that you're too much and you diminish yourself. And I saw that. And so I wrote a book not too long ago, and my mom had bought a copy of my book. And even though she has a copy, I wanted to give her another copy. So I have author's copies for my friends and gifts, and I wrote an inscription in it. And in that inscription, I said a few things. I said, thank you for giving me life. I'm able to be here and do these amazing things because of you, because you gave me life. And it's never too late to go for your dreams. And my mom has always wanted to write a book. She always wanted to be a writer. So when she saw that I wanted to be a writer, she said, I'd love to be a writer someday, and I'm so glad you're doing this. But I now have a book, and it's never too late. I mean, I've got women that are friends of mine that are in their 60s and 70s and even in their 80s that have put books out even at 80 years old. So I know my mom's got a lot of time, and she could write her book. And I told her, it's like, next book I want on my shelf is yours. So I put that in there because I want my mom to have her dreams too. Even if that means that I don't see her for another couple of months or more, I want her to have her dreams, and I love her. And there's some people in my life that can't seem to stand for my dreams right now. And they just don't get it. And they have tried to shame me for not calling enough. They've tried to guilt me. And really, I've just been living my life. I've been taking care of my kids. I've been just doing my thing. And the love's not gone. There's just, with my daughter too, I want her to know, no matter what she's doing in the world, Mommy loves her. And this is the way I am with my friends and with my family. I've always been this way, where they can go off and do their thing, and when they come back, the love is still there. So I have some best friends that I haven't seen in years, that I haven't even really been able to message back and forth because we're all busy. Moms get busy. Like, we get busy with our own lives. And a lot of my friends are also not just busy moms, but they're also building businesses of their dreams. So we all get busy. But when you realize that you have that actual love, that you would rather they're falling more in love with themselves, that they're living their best life, that they're achieving their dreams, then when they come back, there's not that resentment. If there's resentment, if there's, you're not doing what I want you to do, so I don't love you anymore, that's attachment. Or it's narcissism. It's one of the two. And I recognize that. In fact, I left my former partner not because I didn't love him, but I thought I loved him. But what I loved was the mask that he put on every time that he wanted me to admire him. But who he really was, none of his values were my values. There was not any integrity in how he would act in the world. Like, some of the things that he would do, I'm like, this is just horrible. You know, there's this thing about, there's Cinderella, you know, the whole have courage and be kind. And as long as you continue to love and put that light out there, even in the darkest of times, like, you never know what somebody's going through. And I just always knew, even when I was a little girl and I had zero friends, literally zero friends, and the entire school was always like, oh, you don't want to hang out with her because she's the weird girl. Like, I just always wanted to be kind, because you never know what somebody else is going through. And I would rather put that love and kindness in the world than see somebody else suffer. And because I did it from a place of also not knowing who I was back then, and having been told I wasn't good enough, and getting love from the wrong places, which is again another thing. It's like you get love bombed and you think, oh, they like me. And so you give more, but they're only doing it because you're giving. So I was a target for a lot of people that would take advantage of my good and loving heart. Now, I could have been bitter about that, but instead I was like, you know what? This friend who decided to steal my partner, like, she's just so hurting to be able to think that that's okay. But I forgive her. And yeah, maybe my former partner, maybe he was absolutely, some of the things I tell my family and people in my life, when I say some of the things that he did, they're just horrified. And I'm like, you know what? That's his thing. That's his shadows. He has to live with himself for that. But I was still good right until the end. And I'm still good even now. Like, I won't retaliate on him. I'll protect myself and I'll protect my kids, but I won't seek revenge. What's the point of seeking revenge? All it does is put more pain out there. Anyway, I gotta go. My daughter is wanting to ask me a question, and I want to give her my undivided attention, because that's the other thing about love is, even if you set those boundaries with people, and it's like, you know, I've got something to work on. Oh dear, my daughter is now interrupting my calls. She's just going to keep calling now. She's very persistent. All right, I gotta go.